Dear Diary, today I'm reflecting on my film production in The Grand Adventure, but I mainly want to focus on the question, how did your production skills develop throughout this project? First, I want to talk about how we ended up choosing our groups. I remember that we started sitting together early in the year because we just met each other. This feels like such a long time ago, and it was time to choose our groups for the final film, so we decided to choose each other. When I first saw that we were going to be creating this film, I was excited but also nervous because I did not know how to create films. I had no experience at all in filmmaking, so when I first started, I did not have any idea how films worked. But the first things that we did was pick our genres. We all had some of our favorite genres in common, comedy and adventure. So when we made our list of genres for ourselves, we narrowed it down to comedy and adventure. After we did this, we started working on our storyboard. While creating the storyboard, we had a hard time agreeing on what should happen. I remember that Javi, Josiah, and me were incorporating all of the effects in the film. But after we finished it, we decided to scrap the whole idea and created the storyline of The Grand Adventure. By this point, I have already learned the basics of one of the most important things of filmmaking, mise-en-scène. Mise-en-scène is everything that appears in a film. This includes setting, lighting, costumes, and composition. Mise-en-scène creates the mood and storytelling in films. Also, I learned different angles and what they mean, so I can incorporate them into the film. At this point, I was starting to get somewhere in my filmmaking skills. After this, it was time to create the film. First, we had to schedule a date and where we could film it. We decided to film in my garage, but we tried to find out when we could film it and couldn't find a time after school when we all had time together. We ended up filming like a week after we wanted to. We ended up finally having time after school to film. We had our second storyboard completed and just needed to record the scenes. But there was a problem. We needed someone to record a couple shots when we were all in the film. But my mom ended up recording the shots that had all of us in it, but we ourselves did most of the camera work. We thought it would take an hour. We ended up taking around 3 to 4 hours to film the complete film. But we did do a good job and got all the clips that we needed. I feel like in this process, it was very important to the team because I made sure that we kept on track. I learned the most from this part of creating the film. I learned a lot of information because I was in a real film and got firsthand experience. I learned lots about camera angles, lighting, sound, and how much they affect films. I also gained filming skills by knowing how to do certain angles like low angle shots. The last part of creating the film was logos and credits. We used Halio AI, a text-to-video software, to create the genre logo. This logo was representing both of our genres in comedy. We told the software the prompt, make a clown riding a horse in space, then crash into a planet making an explosion, and add a comedic and adventure effect. The other logo was a company logo, which was JAJ Productions. We created this in CapCut through the use of letters and shapes because it was a simple logo, then added the animations. Now let me explain the process of creating the credits. We incorporated the credits into the beginning of the film and added all our names in the beginning with the POV shots, transitioning into each other one. Thinking back now, I realize how far I come from not knowing anything about creating films to now creating my first film. Creating this film was much more than a project. It taught me so much about filmmaking and editing. That's all for today. Alexander Cabrera.